after blowing a big lead, a double-digit lead that they had most of the game all the way up until the end. The Connecticut Sun pulled out a huge, huge victory with a basket at the well, I won't say technically buzzer. It wasn't technically a buzzer beater because the timeout was called, but I think it was 1.2 seconds left. A huge three-pointer. And can you what's that? It wasn't. It wasn't the Connecticut Sun. And you're sure about that because I watched the game and it was really boring, ugly, slow, unwatchable basketball. And it was coached by Stephanie White. So I was really in okay. Oh no, okay. I believe you. I mean, I believe you. I won't even double check. So apparently, scratch that. I'd like to apologize. Apparently, I was the Indiana Fever who blew a big lead against the Washington Mystics, and Caitlin Clark hit her first WNBA game-winning buzzer beater. By the way, the play was actually designed for Kelsey Mitchell, of course, because of course it was. Forget the fact that Kelsey Mitchell was terrible last night. Couldn't shoot, couldn't make a layup. The whole deal. But Caitlin Clark ended up taking the final shot, big three-pointer on an inbound pass from Sophie Cunningham that, man, was probably what, like inches away from being deflected away to end the game. Washington defender decided to take that risk and go after that very enticing looking pass from Sophie Cunningham all the way across the court. Doesn't get a hand on it. Caitlin Clark grabs it, open three-pointer, buries it, game over. Indiana Fever escape with a 78-76 victory where they gave up the lead. I can't remember the last. I think it was 43-29 at halftime. I can't remember when in this game Washington had a lead before what I think 3 or 4 seconds left when Sonya Absolute Citron hit a couple of free throws to give them the lead 76-75. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, this was ugly. This was This was Stephanie White basketball. Within that, though, early, doing a little of her own thing, Caitlin Clark was 4 for 7, 2 for 5 from three for 10 points in the first quarter. Now, once again, yes, yes, she finished with 19 for the game, shot 7 of 16 overall, 4 of 10 from three. So people go, oh, that. If Caitlin Clark shoots 40% from three, the league is cooked. Oh yeah, so we'll take the 4 of 10 from three. But again, she started off 4 of 7, finished 7 of 16. So 3 of 9. And let me make sure I have that right. Yeah, 7 of 16, so 3 of 9 the rest of the way, only 9 points. She only played, I think, 2.5 to 3 minutes in the second quarter. There was at one point where she got up off the bench, I think at a timeout when everyone expected she was coming in. It was about halfway through the second, and it looks like she starts heading toward the scorer's table to come in, but she was told by Stephanie White, no, no, hold up, hold it back on the bench. Of course, once again, there were a bunch of phantom fouls called against Caitlin Clark to put her in foul trouble. This seems to be one of the go-to in the playbook now for the WNBA is Caitlin Clark doesn't commit fouls. We know that historically she hasn't committed fouls, never gets in foul trouble. But this season it's going to be, we're going to put Caitlin Clark in foul trouble early. Combine that with Stephanie White's so-called system, and we will handcuff her and keep her from having monster games, and she will look like just another WNBA point guard. Now, once again, we had the same crap with the layups being missed by this team. Billings, I know, missed one. Kelsey Mitchell, Kelsey Mitchell. A lot of people are saying Kelsey Mitchell needs to be investigated for that miss she had in the previous game. And I got to tell you, a part of me watching that kind of agrees because it is, I don't know, for those of you that played more than just messing around, like maybe played at least a little bit of organized basketball growing up, once you're no longer 7, 8, 9 years old, it is not easy to miss a wide open layup by being short the way Kelsey Mitchell was, where you go off the backward and like hit the underside of that side of the rim, right? That is almost impossible to do, but Kelsey Mitchell managed to do it, which is crazy. But anyway, so and Caitlin Clark went out about I well, no, I can't remember. Maybe she didn't, but Stephanie White made wholesale changes, multiple subs again, 4 minutes into the game. This simply doesn't happen on the pro level. 4 minutes into a professional basketball game, and you're subbing out multiple people. Again, let's keep in mind at the high level, basketball is a stop-start sport as it is, right? You get a lot of opportunities to stop and catch your breath, right? Like every foul being called, extra when it's free throws. Then now both teams have a ton of timeouts, and then at this level, at the pro level, or even college, really for a lot of games, you're adding TV timeouts as well. An elite athlete, Caitlin Clark's age, should have no problem playing the whole game, but her time has been reduced. I think she was averaging like 35 plus minutes a game in 2024. I think she's averaging like 31 now, right? That's a significant drop in minutes played, but that is part of the deal with Stephanie White. So, again, I think she only played 12 minutes in the first half. So, and I think she actually played most of the first quarter. I think maybe she'd been out 30 seconds to a minute. So she played about 2 to 3 minutes of the entire second quarter. We had more fake fouls called against her. There was an instant, if I could find it, I haven't been able to find a clip, but there was another instance where there was communication between Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark that were not good. They had a convo. Caitlin was playing, right? So she's going back on the court. Stephanie White, of course, had um, another thing to say, and Caitlin Clark sort of like, rolls the eyes and with the head, like the whole body language thing was like, man, I've had enough of you, lady. I am so sick and tired of all of your crap and your nonsense. And that's why I said, like, I've seen it really pisses me off of seeing so many Fever fans when Caitlin Clark says something in a presser, then the Fever fans are all going out attacking the Caitlin Clark fans. See, Caitlin Clark said this and Caitlin Clark said that, and she loves Stephanie White. Caitlin Clark is a master class in how an athlete handles the media. We all know that. We all know that from Rookie Year. We all know that Caitlin Clark was not like thrilled with the Dejanay Carrington. We all knew Caitlin Clark didn't believe that Dejanay Carrington didn't poke her in the eye on purpose. That Caitlin Clark didn't believe that Kennedy Carter didn't do what she did on purpose. Y'all now all of a sudden Caitlin Clark's word is gospel. Come on now. Not a single Caitlin Clark fan believed some of the things Caitlin Clark said. And I'm not criticizing Caitlin Clark when I said that. Let's be clear. Caitlin Clark was giving a master class on how you answer these types of questions in the media. That doesn't mean Caitlin Clark was telling the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying here? You feel it? Do you feel what I'm giving you? What are we doing? But all of a sudden, when it fits the pro fever anti Caitlin Clark narrative, they're going to use it against her fans. Absolutely wild. Absolute wild. Now, one thing that I also said really, really, really pissed me off. Now, once again, you had Stephanie White challenge a call. I think it was late in the game. Kelsey Mitchell was an absolute disaster at the end of the game. Once again, I think she had turnovers, back-to-back turnovers. When the game finally got to, one possession game down at the end, Kelsey Mitchell had back-to-back turnovers in the game. I think she had a turnover, and I think she had an offensive foul. And of course, Stephanie White challenged that because it's Kelsey Mitchell. I think I'm starting to wonder if they have a little something going on. And of course, that didn't get upheld. But when Caitlin Clark doesn't touch anyone and gets put into foul trouble, does Stephanie White challenge it? No. You know what she does do at halftime when they have the quick interview? She throws Caitlin Clark under the bus by saying, "We're fouling because we're in poor position to start." Your defense sucks. You have no system. All rotations are late. Most of the players have no idea what the rotations are, where they're coming from, or why. And Caitlin Clark literally doesn't touch anyone, and a foul is called against on her. You are terrible. And once again, I've seen the numbers. Caitlin Clark is the best defender this team has this season. I don't care what anyone says. That's just a fact. Y'all may not like it. Y'all may be up in your feels. Y'all may be clinging to the Caitlin can't play defense. Caitlin turns the ball over. Doesn't mean that shit's true. Y'all just stupid because you hate Caitlin Clark. And Stephanie White, her coach, again, there's nothing I hate passive aggressive, not naming someone type of behavior like this from Stephanie White. I hate it. And not from Stephanie White in general, and she uses it a lot. I hate it. It is cowardly. It is cowardly garbage. I'm sick of that type of crap. Stand on your business, let your cojones drop, and be a manly woman about it. And say, well, I hate Caitlin Clark. I'm very jealous of her. I don't like her skin color when she's also straight, and she comes from the Midwest, and she has fans, and she has more talent in her little pinky than I ever had. So therefore, I'm going to say she sucks. And it was a foul, and it was because she's a terrible defender. Do you understand? Do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? And thanks to my wife, I mean, I was married to a man when I got drafted in the WNBA, but now I have a wife, and she's been at ESPN for like over a quarter century and loves lots of context. So we get all these articles out and stuff in the media. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love it. Anyway, it was interesting. I did see a clip of Caitlin Clark like warming up and stuff. She was standing by herself, kind of, just I guess maybe stretching, loosen up a little bit. Sophie Cunningham came over. We didn't have any words. We were actually getting the back of Caitlin Clark at start. Caitlin just sort of walked away. Then you saw her face. She didn't look happy. Raven kind of was trying to get her to dance because Raven seems to be the one person that gets that. Caitlin Clark wasn't having it. She went and sat down. Now, I don't think she had any issue at all with Raven or Sophie. I think they were both players who understood the mindset of Caitlin Clark in that moment, and they were trying to cheer her up. And Caitlin Clark was having none of it. Having none of it. But yeah, this was a really, really poorly played game, 78-76, ugly game. Washington Mystics aren't good. And yet the Fever had a double-digit lead for most of this game that completely disappeared in the last couple of minutes. Now, Caitlin Clark lost the rhythm again. Think about this: 4 of 7, 2 of 5 from three, 10 points in the first quarter. She gets and 7 shots the rest of the way. The next 3 quarters, she takes only 9 more shots, gets only 9 more points. Stephanie White was not going to allow Caitlin Clark to pop off, as Asia Wilson says. Another great example, let me just put out there just to show. And again, if I can find it, if I have it, because I'm actually doing this reaction before I was able to get any clips, and y'all know how sometimes the clip thing doesn't work out. I will put it, you'll see it on here with me, if I was able to. There was a insanely ridiculous, reckless closeout on Caitlin Clark where she made the three and then gets the foul. This does get I mean, it was that's what I'm saying. It was so bad you had to call. She basically got bowled over and tackled. But no, no, they're not going to upgrade that to a flagrant. It was just a regular foul, which of course is absolute, complete, and total BS. Absolute, complete, and total BS. But yeah, I mean, Caitlin was 7 of 16, 4 of 10 from three, only 5 assists. Although, of course, if we go through the film, I'll probably find a few more and miss layups and all that. So 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Led the team. Kelsey Mitchell was only 6 of 14, only 1 of 6 from three for 15 points on 14 shots. And Aaliyah Boston got into foul trouble. And we also had the knee issue, which seems to be another thing that the Fever have been lying about in terms of how healthy Aaliyah Boston is. Only 4 of 7. She did grab 10 boards. I'm going to give her kudos for that. Only played 24 minutes and 14. So again, and Sophie was okay off the bench, played 23 minutes, 3 of 8, 2 of 4 from three. Lexi Hull only 22 minutes, but 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 3, 2 of 2 from three. Um, Again, it was very much, I felt like before we got the heroics at the end, I kind of felt like I was watching a version of the 2024 Connecticut Sun where Caitlin Clark was Ty Harris. right? Where when she was signed, everyone's like, who? And yet she had been a very solid WNBA quality point guard for Stephanie White in 2024, which is exactly what we're trying to turn Caitlin Clark into. And it looked, I mean, Caitlin Clark had her outburst. She came out with an outburst. You also, you didn't see until that game. You didn't see a lot of the fire that we expected to see. But yeah, and keep in mind, just so you know, 6-5. I think they were. I saw a graphic, I think, before this game, and the Mystics aren't very good, where the Indiana Fever had like the 12th or 13th most difficult schedule, right? Out of 15 teams. Is it 15 this year, right? Yeah, we're at 15 now. Which of course means they have one of the easiest schedules to start, and yet they're 6-5. Remember that it's the opposite of 2024 when they had that nightmare start with both the quality of the team they were playing and the schedule in terms of, rest and all of that. They were 2-9. This is a team that should have started this year like 9-2, not 6-5. They shouldn't be struggling like this. They shouldn't have needed Caitlin Clark heroics at the buzzer to beat a bad Mystics team that they were beating with a double-digit lead for most of the game. But again, we have Stephanie White. Stephanie White is a terrible basketball coach, as y'all know at this point. We're seeing what is happening with Caitlin Clark being part of that system. No one wants to watch it. It's not fun to watch. It is not entertaining. And on top of that, it's not like you just tuned into a WNBA game and you're saying, this team's not. This is typical WNBA basketball. It's not very fun to watch, and you're going to move on. It hurts so much more than that for y'all because you know who Caitlin Clark is. You know what Caitlin Clark can do. You know how entertaining she is. And yet, she has become assimilated into that unwatchable old style WNBA basketball. But hey, even that she could not be denied at the end. I'm leaving there. I got some other stuff probably that I'll talk about with this game and stuff. I want to see if I can find some specific plays that I have in my head that I want to break down and everything. But I wanted to do just an overall about this game. By the way, damn, I meant to mention this at the beginning. Now there's only like two people left to watch this part. The thumbnail that you saw for this video, I should have made proof because no one's gonna believe it. I actually created it before the game, so I would have it. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're getting. Caitlin's gonna have one of those games. Now, she didn't in a way. She had the first quarter looked like it was gonna be one of those games. But when you finish the way she finished, we're going to call it one of those games. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Truly appreciate it. Go have the day you deserve. Shout out to the 19. I will talk to y'all later.